Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 VC review. Today I'm going to be having a look at Excitebike on the NES. It's, for those who don't know, it's a racing game. You're on a bit of a drag bike racer type thing. You've got Selection A, Selection B and Design. I'll go through all of them very quickly. Selection A, you choose from 1 to 5 tracks. You can choose any one that you want to. And basically it's you do a championship type thing. You go through all the way until the end. You start off here, and as you can see you've got a temperature gauge at the bottom, which is how hot your engine is, and if it gets too hot then you'll stall. If you crash then you'll fall off your bike, and the best way to get back on your bike is to rapidly push the 2 button, and then it'll run back onto the bike. You've got those little arrows there which cool your engine down, so you want to be on the lookout for them, and basically the whole point is to try and beat the top time. As long as you get into the 3rd time then you do qualify, so it doesn't matter about coming first all the time, but quite frankly it's one of those things that there's not much else to do, so you'll find yourself trying to just best the score. It sounds pretty awful, but it is actually a very fun game if you give it a chance. It's one of those that many people overlook and think, well, it's a NES race so it can't be very good, and then when they actually try it they're quite surprised. As well as your normal accelerator button, if you let go of 2 and hit 1, you'll do a turbo. It basically allows you to go much faster, but as you can see my engine heats up much faster as well, and there we go, it's overheated. So you just have to stand around waiting for that, so it's not something you want to do. You always have to keep your eye on the temperature gauge, because otherwise your time will be shot by the end. In Excitebike 64, which many people might have played, well, you can do loads of stunts, and on this it's pretty much the wheelie, and that's it. You can pull back and forward in the air, but that's literally it. There's nothing else left other to do than the wheelie. So it's not a huge game stunts wise, but you don't really need stunts or anything like that. It's still quite fun just to try and best your scores all the time, especially if you play it with a friend and you take turns trying to beat each other's scores. So that's that mode. Very quickly show you Selection B. Selection B is a bit harder, it's a bit more advanced because you actually play with other racers. You're not actually racing them, that I don't particularly know why they're there. You're not trying to beat their scores or anything, and if they place ahead of you then it doesn't matter as long as you've beaten the high score. They're just there basically to put you off and to try and crash into you and the likes. Well, obviously they don't try and crash into you, but a lot of the times it does seem like they move it into your way just at exactly the wrong moment. So for instance there, you can't actually go through them or anything, you do crash into them as I said. So this makes it a little bit harder. It also adds a bit more diversity and makes it more fun. So that's Selection B. And Design mode is one of the more advanced design features on the NES. You can design a track for Play Mode A or Play Mode B. It's the same track, but you can't play them in Play Mode A and B, and you can actually save your track as well. So I'll just hit reset there, just in case I've actually saved one and forgot about it. And this is Design mode. Basically you can, well, even though I've hit reset, it's kept my track. You can push the 2 button to drive along a little bit, and then push the 1 button to place items. Pushing along on the D-pad lets you change your things. Usually it's the select button, but on this it's along on the D-pad, and basically it means you can cycle through the items, so you can put things where you want them. You can put any of the items that you actually see in the game onto it. So this is something that you just have fun with. You can pretty much make it any length you want as well. You can actually make it a really long track if you want, or make it a really short track, because you can put the end wherever you want to. And then you can choose how many laps you want of it as well. So that's pretty good. It's as I say, it seems like a basic game. It's not going to win any awards for amazing graphics or amazing gameplay or amazing sound or anything like that, but it is still a very fun game, and I personally think you should give it a try, because as I say, it is a little underrated. It is just one of those that you'll get it and you'll think, well, it's not the best game in the world, but it is very addictive. Sometimes I can be stuck on this for a good long hour or two, just constantly trying to better my scores. So it is something that if you get into it, you will find it quite addictive. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid, or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel, because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.